Hey everybody, I hope you're keeping up with your yoga practice. Remember that yoga is very healthy for your body, of course, but also your mind and your spirit. Today we're going to start with a breathing exercise, but I do want to remind you that if easy pose, this cross-legged pose, is not comfortable for you, you can choose another option. You could stretch your legs out. You can sit with your feet underneath you if that's more comfortable as well. So find your comfortable seat and let your arms relax. We're going to be breathing through the nose. And we'll try to make the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. I'll count for you. Let's all breathe in together. And then breathe out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Keep counting to yourself now. Finish your next exhale. And when you breathe in, open your eyes. Switch the foot that you have in front if you're sitting in easy pose. If your legs are stretched out long or underneath you, you can stay where you are. So bring the right fingertips out to the floor and stretch the left arm up, gently leaning to the side. You can walk your fingers out a little more if that feels comfortable. Your top elbow can be just gently bent here. Try to tuck your chin under your top arm. Let's take some deep breaths into the left lung. That's the top lung, the one you're stretching. And reach back up and switch sides. Walk the fingers out a little bit if you'd like to. And now reach your arms back up. We're going to come lying down on the back. And then bring the legs up in the air. So your legs are right over your hips. If you want to bend your knees a little bit to take any strain out of your low back, you're welcome to do that. We're going to try to lift the hips off the ground by using the strength of the belly. So pull the belly down, pull the sides of the waist down. Keep your shoulder blades pressing. And then just lift and lower your hips. It's just a very subtle movement that wakes up the belly. And let's go for 5 more. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now bring your knees into your chest and roll your knees around in both directions. And then plant your hands on the floor again, shoulders in the back of your head. You'll be stretching one leg out long and then the other. Now, you could stay about where I am, or you could be a little higher if that feels like it's better for your back. You can also pull really strongly down with the strength of your abdominal muscles and get your legs coming very close to the floor. If your low back starts to arch up off of the mat like this, then you need to keep your knees bent when you move out. You can just bend your knees instead of straightening. If you are tired, you can always rest, but we're going to try to dig in and use some of our resolve to keep moving. If you want to work with straight legs, you can work with straight legs. Don't hold your breath. Let your breath flow in and out really smoothly. And now we'll go 3, 2, and 1. Knees come back to the chest again. Circle, reverse. One more here for the belly. Bring your legs up until your shins are parallel with the floor. You'll take the heel of your palm and press it right here where your thigh bone meets your hip bone. The heel of the palm pressing in. So do that on both sides. Your head is going to stay resting down. And then push on the head of that space where the thigh and hip meet. And as you push with your hands, you'll try to hug in a little bit with your thighs and stay relaxed across your chest through your face. And just keep pushing. Your knees should be about as far away from your torso as the length of your arms will allow. So no hugging the knees in close. And bring your knees to your chest. And circle. And go the other way. We'll keep the right knee hugged into the chest and extend the left leg out long on the mat. You have the option to hold your shin or hold the back of your thigh. You're going to pull down. As you pull down, you'll curl your forehead toward your knee. Release down gently. Head down, shoulders relaxed and neck relaxed. Let's switch sides. Hold your shin or the back of your thigh. And then knees to chest. The next movement I'm suggesting won't be appropriate for everyone. Some of you will need to just stay on your back with your knees hugging close. But if you feel ready to, as long as you don't have any herniations in your lower back, you can rock back and forth a few times. Massaging the spine. Massaging the muscles that support your good posture. And let's give it one more rock back and up. And we'll come all the way over. So this is a modified salutation. You're going to have a little movement going in this segment of class. So your hands are shoulder width apart and your knees are on the mat. You shift the chest forward a little bit. Bend your elbows back towards your waist and lower. Now curl up into cobra, which is a back bend, muscles in the back working, chest lifting. And then breathe out as you put your forehead onto the floor. Push, try to keep your hips strong here. Push yourself up and back into child's pose. And we'll try that again. Inhale forward to your modified plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, shoulders roll back, chest lifting. Exhale, chin or forehead to the floor now. Push yourself up and back into child's pose. One more of those. This takes some upper body strength. If you're struggling with this one, you can skip this next one that we're doing and just stay in child's pose. Lower. Curl up. And push back. Give yourself a little bit of time to relax in child's pose. And I'll show you this next part from the back. So I'm going to turn my back to you for a moment so you can see. Your knees are going to be together. Your feet are together. Your heels are as close as you can get them. And you're going to sit back onto your feet. And then behind your back, interlace your fingers and press your knuckles down towards your toes. It looks like this from the back. And it'll look like this from the side. Yes. And once you have your arms, if you can straighten your elbows, you'll do that. If you need something softer, you can bend your elbows. Now let your chin fall towards your chest. lift your head, unlace your fingers, and come back into an all-fours position. When you lunge forward, you might, just to give space to your leg, you might need to come up into your fingertips. I like to do that. So you'll step forward with your right foot. Tuck your back toes. We're going to lift the back toes. And then pivot your whole body so that you're facing here, the front of the mat. Your knees are turned out. Your toes are turned out. So knees and toes turned out. Good. You'll bring your arms up like goalposts here. Draw the belly in. Spread your toes. Sink down into your hips. Start to tick-tock from side to side. It's okay if your elbow doesn't touch your thigh. You could have a gentler approach with this tick-tocking motion if you'd like. Three, 2, and 1. Straighten out your arms, straighten your legs. This is a balancing pose. You're going to try to rise up. Your toes are still turned out. You're going to try to rise up onto the balls of your feet and then reach your arms overhead. So lift your heels if you can and reach your arms up. Steady. Steady. Shoulders down the back. Strong legs. And then send your heels back down. Bend your elbows again. And release. Step your feet underneath you. Our final pose before relaxation is a balancing pose. It's called Eagle. This pose can be done with your left toes on the floor or hovering. Now, this is another one where I'm going to turn my back to you at one point. But what you're going to be doing is standing strong in this right leg, lifting your left knee up tall, bringing your knee toward the midline of the body so that you can cross at the upper thigh. You might want to keep your toes on the floor, or you could hover your toes and have your pinky toe at the outside of your calf. And I'll show you something from the back too here. Also, and y'all are standing in your right leg, so don't switch legs. Another thing that you can do is wrap your toes behind your calf. If you're feeling the strength down the side of the lower leg to do that. So once you've got your leg position, wrap your left elbow underneath your right elbow. And hold steady. And I know you guys have been here a while, so we'll come out on this side and go in on the opposite side. Give your legs a little shake, a deep breath or two. Time for the opposite side. Bending your knees. This time your left leg is going to be your standing leg. You'll lift your right leg way up. Good. And wrap, or if you're uncomfortable wrapping, you can, here, I'll practice the modification with you this time. You could keep your toes down. And then wrap your right elbow underneath. your left elbow. Keep your field of vision wide. You're focusing on your periphery. And breathe out. Breathe in and release. We'll try to come to the floor differently than we have been. And I'm going to give you an option today for your relaxation if you're more comfortable on your belly. I'll do it with you, but I want to remind you that you can lie on your back like we have done in the previous classes. So fold forward by walking your hands down your legs. Bring your fingertips to the floor and lunge back with your left foot and then your right foot. And we're going to come down onto our stomachs and stack one hand on top of another and rest the forehead on the hands. And turn your toes out so they face the outside edges of your mat. It's time to relax. When I first started practicing yoga, the relaxation was the hardest part for me. I used to roll up my mat and leave during relaxation because I felt like I had too much to do. But relaxation is one of the most important parts of a healthy mind and body. So even if your mind is running away from you or if you feel fidgety, try to stay and be still. Well, depending on whether you chose to lie on your stomach to relax or whether you chose to lie on your back, you'll come out of relaxation differently. And if you're on your back, you'll just wiggle your fingers and toes and then walk your feet in to come to your side. If you're on your stomach, just turn your head to one side. And then lift your head and turn your head to the opposite side. Good. Now bring your hands back by your chest and bring your knees together and push yourself up to walk your feet forward, knees forward, and sit in your comfortable seat. Let's bring the hands to what we call heart center, which is thumbs just in front of the sternum, the breastbone. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.